pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to the South River Board of Education regular meeting of Monday, November 17th, 2025. In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Laws of 1975 of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the South River Board of Education has been provided in the following manner. On January 15th, 2025, the notice was delivered to the office of the South River Borough Clerk and posted at the Board of Education Administration Building. On January 15th, 2025, the notice was faxed, mailed to the following recipients. Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger. On January 15th, 2025, the notice was posted at the South River Borough Clerk's office. Mr. Rosa, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Bazak.
Mr. Bazak has been excused.
Mr. Budson.
Here.
Mrs. Bush.
Mrs. Bush has been excused.
Mrs. Lau.
Here.
Mr. Nielsen.
Here.
Mr. Onwudaway.
Here.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Mrs. Sadowski has been excused.
Mrs. Young Yao.
Here.
Mrs. Urbanik.
Here.
Shiza Hussein.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. We have some items on the agenda this evening for our meeting, the first being the minutes. Mr. Rosa.
No additions from our Thursday pre-meeting.
Okay, and board members, is there a motion on these minutes?
Move the reading of the minutes.
We have a motion by Vice President Nielsen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lowe. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The minutes pass. And Mr. Rosa, use of facilities.
So we do have 3 additions from our pre-meeting. It's number 965, 966, and 977.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions on these additions? Seeing none, is there a motion on the use of facilities?
Move the use of facilities in accordance with board policies.
Motion by Vice President Nielsen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Young Yao. Are there any abstentions on any of these use of facilities? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is the financial report. Ms. Lowe.
Thank you. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby certifies that it is in receipt of the financial report, which indicates that no major account has been overexpended and that sufficient funds are available to meet the district's financial obligations for the remainder of the fiscal year. The Finance Committee recommends that the reports of the Board Secretary and the Treasurer of School Monies for August 2025 and September 2025 be approved, and I so move.
Thank you. We have a motion by Ms. Lowe.
Second.
Second by Vice President Nielsen. Are there any questions on the financial report? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to turn the meeting over to our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sylvia Zurcher.
Thank you, Mrs. Urbanik. We have several items on the agenda today, beginning with my updates. I do want to tell the community we have some audio-visual upgrades at our high school auditorium, our primary school cafetorium, elementary and middle school cafetorium as well. They have all recently received significant upgrades in audio-visual equipment, which we will use for instruction, for assemblies, presentations, parent sessions and programs as well, and any community facility usage. So we're really pleased with how these projects will enhance all of those opportunities. We're looking into a unified communication systems. Currently, the district uses our ERAM and our text messaging system, our phone system, and email system to communicate with parents when there is a district communication that is needed. But what we find is that our coaches, teachers use personal communication means such as Dojo or Remind. Those are 2 examples of popular ones, which they are using independently. And we feel that it would be safer and better for the district, for our parent community, for us to have a unified system for our teachers and coaches to use, similar to how we communicate district messaging. So we will make sure that before we roll anything of that nature out, we give plenty of notice to all of our users, as well as our community members, so that everybody is comfortable with that transition. The press box at Denny Stadium, we have a new modular press box being built for Denny Stadium that will significantly upgrade our athletic facility at that field. The new structure will feature dedicated spaces for the home team coaches, visiting coaches, and press members as well. And really create just a more professional environment for game management and coverage. And it's also going to be equipped with a huddle camera for live streaming, which we have not had before. So this is exciting, not just for athletic events, but also some of the other events that we hold at the stadium, such as graduations and so on. And we are in budget season, believe it or not, for next school year, for school year 26-27. Our directors, our principals are in the process of meeting with their teams, their building teams and department teams to develop that budget, the proposed budget for the upcoming school year. We really won't know much about funding in terms of state aid, federal allocations, et cetera, until later on in the year. But we begin with a preliminary draft of that budget, and then we adjust as needed. Any questions about budget or the upcoming school year in terms of fiscal allocations, we ask that you please send those to Camilla Miazio, who is our Assistant Business Administrator, and she can certainly work through any questions with community members on those budget items. Additionally, in my report for today, we have our NJ CUSAC District Improvement Plan for 25-26 school year for your approval and consideration. And then we also have a high school graduation results presentation. It's a brief presentation from Dr. Trevisano, which is required for us to share with the public and the board. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Trevisano at this time, and he will present that for us. We'll also post this on our district website as we do after all our presentations. Thank you.
Good evening. I love how it was prefaced by a brief report, and that's normally how Dr. Zurcher starts my reports and my presentations. Anyway, as noted, as part of our annual CUSAC review, we do post certain presentations. We do a data review for our graduation results in terms of the actual test scores. We do a presentation for the New Jersey Student Learning Assessments in mathematics, science, and English. And this will be the third and final presentation, and this is our graduation results. Now, we haven't gone over this in a while, so I figured it was time to just cover what the high school graduation results are for the course base. On the course base, there are 20 credits required in English language arts, 15 in mathematics in succession courses. There's 15 credits in science, including laboratory, biology, or life science, chemistry, and then the third, inquiry or laboratory-based science, and then 15 credits of social studies. Those of us who may have had previous understanding of graduation requirements, it used to specifically say United States History 1 and 2. They've removed that, and now it's really integrations of civics, economics, geography into historical courses. Those are the four major content areas. Then beyond that are additional courses. There's 2.5 credits in financial literacy. Financial literacy can be a standalone course. It can be economics, it can be accounting. You have 5 credits in visual performing arts, 5 credits as a minimum in world languages, technology integration, and 5 credits in 21st century. Now, these are the minimum graduation course requirements per the state of New Jersey. As you look towards colleges, colleges have additional recommendations, if you will. So 5 credits would be 1 year of world language. Most colleges disciplines or combining the disciplines over their 4 years here. In South River, we currently offer the students an opportunity to take 160 credits, which allows them to explore in different disciplines or to explore further. So 4 years of mathematics, 4 years of science, 4 years of history, based on their interest and where they want to go after they leave us. The other part of graduation is the testing requirement. This is the part that we wanted to go over this evening. Students, in order to achieve a high school diploma, don't only have to pass the courses, they also have to pass the testing requirement. And the state gives us 3 options in order to allow students, or help our students attain that requirement. First is passing the New Jersey Graduation Proficiency Assessment, also known as GPA. I've gone over those results with you earlier this year. They have to attain a passing score in GPA in mathematics and in language arts. Students who don't achieve that score on 1 or 2 or even potentially 3 opportunities to take that assessment are given the second pathway, or alternative pathway to attain the graduation requirement. That would be a passing score in the ACT, PSAT, SAT, in both language arts and mathematics. We just actually received word recently that they're re-adding the the Accuplacer was already counted, but they're actually going back to re-add the ASVAB, which is the aptitude test for the military. So that is actually coming back as a graduation pathway under the second pathway. The third pathway would be the portfolio assessment. Portfolio assessment would be vetted tasks in English or mathematics that are approved at the district level that demonstrate student proficiency in standards across the 4 years, again in mathematics and in English. Students are given these portfolio assessments, they're scored, and that information is then provided to the state as the third potential pathway. Now, in order to take a graduation requirement in the second or third pathway, students have to sit for the New Jersey Graduation Proficiency Assessment. So they have to take that test first, and then the state recognizes that there is a potential to attain the testing pathway in a different way. So these are our results from last year, and these were reported out at the end of the summer. Students are given the opportunity to attain these graduation results up to August 31st. So the number of students passing our New Jersey GPA, English and math are presented. The number of students passing the substitute competency tests, we call that pathway 2, are also presented for the English and mathematics. And then using the portfolio assessment, this past year we've had nobody who had to use the portfolio assessment for language arts, but 2 students passed the portfolio assessment in mathematics. There are students who, through their IEP, do not have to take a specific test, if you would, and then we graduated 2 students with the alternate requirements per their IEP. There were 2 students that were denied graduation based on the graduation testing. There were 2 students who were denied graduation this past year that would be for failure to achieve the graduation requirements in the courses. And we had 0 students not graduate based on not passing a testing requirement. Our 2025 graduation rate, we actually received word, if I remember correctly, today, that this number is slightly incorrect. We're actually at 92.7, so we increased. So the state gave us that notification today in some embargo reports. So that number I didn't have a chance to change prior to the report, so that will be changed for the posting tomorrow. And 2024 graduation rate, again, was 94.1%. Any questions?
No.
I'm good.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right, and finally, on my report, you do have 1 confirmed HIB. That's item 3.4, also for your review and approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zurcher. At this time, we are going to open up the meeting for the reception of visitors, and the public may address agenda items only. There will be a public portion later on in the meeting for other items of interest to the Board of Education. So if you want to address the Board of Education on agenda items, please come to the microphone, state your name and address, and please keep your comments to a 10-minute time limit. This is on first call, on second call, and on third call. This portion of the meeting is closed. At this time, we are going to move into items under President of the Board. The first item are the board goals. Every year, the Board of Education sets goals for the upcoming school year. Those goals have been identified. All the board members did get copies of them, and they will be posted to the website tomorrow. Did any board members have any comments or additions to these board goals? I know we were all given the opportunity. Seeing none, then, we will go on to our consent resolution. Mr. Rosa.
The South River Board of Education, by means of a consent resolution, adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time. And whereas the below listed resolutions are hereby adopted by the said Board of Education in whole, as if the same were individually acted upon. And those are under Superintendent of Schools, 3.1 to 3.4, the President of the Board, 5.2, under Buildings and Grounds, 7.1, under Finance, 8.1 through 8.19, under Instruction, 9.1 through 9.4, under Policy and Legislation, 11.1, under Human Resources, 12.1 through 12.12, under Safety and Risk Management, 13.1 through 13.2, and under Residency, 14.1 through 14.2.
Thank you, Mr. Rosa. Board members, what is your pleasure on the consent resolution?
Move the consent resolution.
We have a motion by Vice President Nielsen. Is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Budzen. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
May I add that I would like to abstain from 9.2 under field trips to the June 23rd project graduation trip.
So noted.
Thank you.
Our next item on the agenda are our committee reports. Our athletics, Mr. Budzen.
Nothing on the agenda for this month.
Okay, thank you. And Buildings and Grounds, Vice President Nielsen.
Thank you, Madam President. The Buildings and Grounds Committee, after review of all items on this month's agenda and upon recommendation of the superintendent, recommends approval of item 7.1 with no additional items on the agenda as listed, including routine items. That's all I have tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Moving on to our Finance Committee report. Ms. Lau.
Thank you very much. So the agenda includes approvals for several service contracts supporting student evaluation and instructional needs, including bilingual child study team evaluations, augmentative and alternative communication evaluations, and professional development workshops. Contracts were also approved for yearbook services for the elementary and middle schools, custodial services, and snow removal. Several facility and security upgrades for Denny Stadium and school buildings were authorized, including security cameras, electrical work, a sound system, roof replacement changes, and flooring and stairwell repairs across multiple schools. So the Finance Committee, after review of all items on this month's agenda and upon recommendation of the superintendent, recommends approval of the items 8.1 through 8.14 with additional items 8.15 through 8.19 on the agenda as listed, including routine items.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And would you please continue with our Instruction Committee report?
Will do. So Ms. Bush likes providing a brief summary of Dr. T's report, so I would like to do similar. So this month, administrators and teacher leaders closely analyzed student achievement data from standardized tests, including the high school graduation proficiency assessment and student learning assessments in grades 3 through 9. So using disaggregated data provided by Mrs. Cashin, teams identified trends, discussed instructional strategies, and assigned action steps to address areas of need with continued use of Linkit for ongoing assessment. The high school, along with the counseling department, has begun reviewing current and proposed courses to evaluate demand, interest, and high-need areas as they develop next year's program of studies, which will be finalized in early January. November professional development will focus on supporting multilingual learners, strengthening instructional strategies during extended class periods, and providing additional training through effective school solutions for staff working with students requiring enhanced support. The Instruction Committee, after review of all items on this month's agenda and upon recommendation of the superintendent, recommends approval of the items 9.1 through 9.3, with additional item 9.4 on the agenda as listed, including routine items. And that is all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Under negotiations, there are no items for this evening. Our Policy and Legislation Committee report, Mr. Onrudowek.
The Policy and Legislation Committee, after review of all items on this month's agenda and upon recommendation of the superintendent, recommends approval of the item 11.1 with no additional items on the agenda as listed, including routine items.
Thank
That's
you.
all.
Our Human Resources Committee, Vice President Nielsen.
Thank you, Madam President. The Human Resources Committee, after review of all items on this month's agenda and upon recommendation of superintendent, recommends approval of the items 12.1 through 12.8 with additional items 12.9 through 12.12 on the agenda as listed, including routine items. And that's all we have for tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Safety and Risk Management, Ms. Young Yao.
Thank you. The Safety and Risk Management Committee, after review of all items on this month's agenda and upon recommendation of the superintendent, recommends approval of items 13.1 through 13.2 with no additional items on the agenda as listed, including routine items.
Thank you, and would you please continue with the Residency
The
Committee?
Residency Committee, after review of all items on this month's agenda and upon recommendation of the superintendent, recommends approval of the item 14.1 with additional item 14.2 on the agenda as listed, including routine items. Thank you.
Thank you. Our School Board Borough Council Liaison Committee, Vice President Nielsen.
Thank you, Madam President. Citizens in the office tonight, in the audience tonight, we had a very productive meeting on the 31st in regards to security and things within the school. I think it was, I think we have made some progress here. The town's open to our suggestions and willing to work with us. So I like to see that and we'll be moving ahead with that. Right, Matt? Thank you. Anything you'd like to add? Okay, thank you, Mr. Samus. That's all I have, Madam President.
Thank you. Our South River Public Library Liaison, Mr. Goodson.
The upcoming events, the Kids Cup event, making Thanksgiving treats. November 18th is Adults Craft Night, a light of pumpkin. The 20th is a co-writing class. And the 24th is another adult crafts night, baking turkey. And the 18th is the Friends of the Library meeting. That's all I had.
Thank you. Our Student Board Representative, Ms. Hassan.
Hi everyone. I would just like to say that all the different activities going around, like with the library, I think it's a great opportunity for students here at the high school to participate in. Like I did community service hours at the library, and I took lots of pleasure in doing all these different types of activities, helping out children and contributing to the holidays, and just keep up the good work that everybody is doing with our community. I love this school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there any old or new business to come before the board? And is there anything from our attorney, a report?
Yes, I know there was a discussion last Thursday. I'll just update you on that. But there's rumblings about the funding formula. Right now, we're on the right side of the funding formula, and I'd like you to stay that way. It's unlikely that anything's going to significantly change for this round. Johnny's already like shaking.
Yeah.
You know,
Twitching.
I was at a superintendent interview a couple of months ago, and one of the applicants had said that they were involved in the funding formula, and that was a huge asset in their application. So we asked them to explain it, and they couldn't. So it's interesting how deep we've gotten with the funding formula. There's no graceful exit So I think a year from now, we'll be hearing about change, if at all, or we may just be entrenched. As far as the question that Vice President Nielsen brought up last week, there is a Senate Bill 4488, which would change Donaldson hearing. Donaldson hearings are the process that is owed to a non-tenured person if you are not going to vest them with tenure and show them the door before they get tenure. That is a very informal hearing. We haven't had one for a while, which is a good thing, because usually the answer is a pretty clear one for your administrators, and thus when the board is confronted with that, it's quick and easy. This legislation aims to make it less quick and less easy, but it has no legs. It was proposed from a 2024 elected Essex County Senator. It was presented out of Senate Education Committee on November 10th, and the Senate said thank you and sent it back to the committee, which is not a sign of a lot of support. So right now, it is nowhere. If that changes, we'll talk about it again. It would make the process a lot more elaborate. It would not change tenure, but it would change the blockades to people getting tenure, which is an important thing for you, because you know once there's tenure, you know what happens then. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Payment of bills, Ms. Lowe.
The Finance Committee recommends that all bills presented, having been certified by the school business administrator, board secretary, be paid as listed, and I so move.
Thank you. We have a motion by Ms. Lowe.
Second.
We have a second by Vice President Nielsen. Any questions on any of the bills? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Pay the bills, Johnny. Okay, thank you. Now at this time, we are once again going to open up the meeting for the reception of visitors, where the public may address any concern or comment they have for the board. If you do come up, please state your name and address, and please keep your comments limited to 10 minutes. This is on first call, on second call, and on third call. Seeing no one from the public, we're going to close this session. We do not have an executive session tonight, leaving the last item of business, a motion for adjournment.
Nielsen.
Moved by Vice President Nielsen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Young Yao. All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you.